马克西·伯格斯大家应该都认识，没错，就是那个看着小学生库里长大，封盖过大猩猩尤因的小虫伯格斯。小虫在上周做客马克·杰克逊播客时谈到了华子的那个言论，并且联系到当今人们整天讨论这 GOAT 那 GOAT 的，既没有意义又不尊重过去的伟大球员。谈论最伟大的球员的意义是专注于篮球本身，让你去学习篮球的技术，让你去继承伟人的精神，让你去沿着前辈的道路走向真正的伟大。当伯克斯问詹姆斯有什么缺陷时，詹密的回答倒是很诚实，有很多无法一一列举。当时伯克斯和马克·杰克逊就绷不住了，那还有什么可讨论的，简直笑死人了。下面请看视频。
Anthony Edwards, which I love, for him to say that Michael was the only skilled player back in the 90s, that is ridiculous. That's not being a student of the game, you know, because if you call yourself a student of the game, then you look at all the eras, and just like now that they talk about who's this GOAT, you know, that GOAT. That's so disrespectful for so many guys that play this game. It's so disrespectful, but we can all see that when we look at a player, what type of skill set he possessed, and if he had any type of deficiencies amongst his game. We only seen a guy that didn't have any deficiency and had the fundamentals as well as the athletic ability to play it at the highest level as no one played. And so, I mean, I would never say who is the GOAT of the game, but I would say that, you know, MJ was a different player than any other player that I have ever witnessed, you know, and he became that guy that feared a lot of opponents. You know, Kareem numbers, LeBron numbers, you got numbers, and people would forget about Kobe. I mean, how are you going to forget about Kobe? What he's accomplished and the way he was able to play the game and impact it, you know, the second coming of MJ. So it's really, you know, it's sad that, you know, folks think if they call themselves a student of the game, but they can't see that full vision of all the players that came through the league and how they was able to impact the league, the Jerry West. I mean, you just keep going on about the Oscar Robertson, these guys that played the game, you know, how they impact the game in terms of who is the best player that ever played this game. I mean, that's ridiculous.
You don't got nothing to say, Paul? You gonna make me respond to that? What's up?
No.
You know how I feel. I'll respond. Look, I agree with everything that you said. I feel like if you took somebody like Bob Cousy or some of the players that you named and you put them in today's game and taught them and told them, hey, this is the way that the game is played, they would still be at the level that they were all-time level. So I think it's just timing and what you learn at that time or the way the game is played. So I agree with you. But I do think that the GOAT conversation, as much as I hear you saying is disrespectful, I think it's a necessary conversation because when you do separate guys like Michael Jordan, Kareem, LeBron, Kobe from the pack, it ultimately is a sign of respect.
Okay, what you consider the GOAT?
Who?
I said, what do you consider as the GOAT?
Oh, to me, I'm very straightforward with my guidelines. So to me, LeBron hits all of the stats. If you are statistically doing it for this long of a time, I think that it's unfair to be like a dude that did it for a shorter amount of time just because he didn't lose in the finals is better. I can't agree with that.
Well, I just think, you know, he stayed healthier than everybody, played longer than everybody, so he was able to accumulate those numbers. If guys would have stayed longer, they might have accumulated those numbers as well. Some guys that took a little time off and then came back and played. But my thing is, do LeBron have a deficiency?
Yes. Yeah.
And what is that?
I would say it's more than one thing.
There's more than okay. All right, I'm gonna just leave it at that. There's more than one thing. What is MJ's deficiency?
I would say that MJ's deficiency, and nobody ever wants to talk about it. We torched Kobe for his selfish plays because we watched it firsthand all at the same time and there was social media. So we could say, yo, he shot over 5 people and there's a dude in the corner. We don't say that for Michael Jordan because we don't see all of the game footage right away. But that's a deficiency to me, that he won't make the right play at certain times.
But that's not a deficiency. That's not a skill set. That's not a skill set. That's just a decision, a choice that he made because he feel like he can accomplish on 5 or 3 guys that's playing if he can still be successful. What I'm saying is that
that's a fair point.
LeBron can't shoot free throws. Well, I don't say. Let me take it. I'm not saying that he can't shoot free throws. He's not a great free throw shooter. I love LeBron. I mean, I really love LeBron James. I love what LeBron stands for. I love what LeBron has done with his basketball career. How he's able to came in as day one and still has kept that status all the way through to his 21 years or how many years he's played without any blemish on his record. I love it. And what he has done in the community and uplift his people that are around him, that is beyond remarkable. But when it comes to the game of basketball and the skill set of the game of basketball, that's where it separates from a guy like MJ and a guy like LeBron in terms of the skill set. Michael had no deficiency fundamentally. He was one of the most fundamentally sound guys that ever played the game. And athletic-wise, I mean, hey, that's in the class of his own. So that's why when I say about guys, and MJ always hasn't been that way. When he was in college, he couldn't even go left. It was hard for him to go left, but he worked on that aspect of his game to the point to where that has not become a deficiency anymore. So that's what I talk about when I say skill set, when I talk about the game and, how one consider himself as the top of it. I look at the skill set and what they can do overall. That's where I come in.
You heard it from the Muggsy Bogues show. You heard it from the Muggsy Bogues show.
He broke it down good. Nah, dog, he broke it down. He broke it down.